In the context of Rolex watches, the grey market refers to the unauthorised sale of brand new timepieces outside the official retailer network. These watches are often sourced from channels other than Rolex's authorised dealers and are sold at prices that can be significantly lower than those offered through legitimate avenues. While acquiring a coveted Rolex model at a discounted price might be enticing, the grey market comes with risks and challenges that both buyers and Rolex must grapple with. One of the primary attractions of the grey market is the potential for acquiring a sought-after Rolex model without the premium price tag. However, buyers should proceed cautiously, as watches purchased from the grey market might come with something other than the official warranties and guarantees accompanying purchases from authorised dealers. That can lead to complications when servicing or repairing the timepiece, potentially costing the buyer more in the long run. Additionally, the grey market is a breeding ground for counterfeit watches and unscrupulous sellers, putting consumers at risk of purchasing inauthentic or misrepresented products. Now folks, Rolex's inner workings are little known, like the intricate mechanisms behind their timepieces. The Wilsdorf Foundation, the Rolex brand's owner, donates most of the more than $8.6 billion in annual sales to charitable organizations and artistic endeavors. Hans Wilsdorf, an orphan, founded Rolex in 1905, and the foundation bearing his name 40 years later. The Rolex watch has been and will continue to be the pinnacle of prestige symbols for many years. Fidel Castro wore two in the 1960s. These times are long gone. Now listen, Rolex insists that it is not intentionally limiting the supply of its products. The reality is that our current production can simply not meet existing demand, at least not without reducing the quality of our watches, something we refuse to do. Rolex watches are sold exclusively by official retailers and they independently manage the allocation of their watches to their customers. However, Rolex produces about 1.05 million watches yearly. But walk into any retail shop today and find empty shelves. Eric Wind, a dealer in vintage timepieces and an acknowledged expert in Rolexes, adds in his conversation with writer Jeff Miash, "I don't think it's a supply chain issue." He claims the recent interest in the Swiss firm's timepieces has never been higher. Some watches are fetching 10 times their original price on the secondary market. Simply put, some dealers will be more inclined to accept cash than to accept retail payments from you if the difference is several $1,000s. This temptation has grown as the price of Rolex watches has skyrocketed. Brace yourselves, folks, because all we've said is not even the dark truth. Here's where it comes in. As you can imagine, the grey market has consequences for both consumers and Rolex. On the one hand, buyers can find coveted Rolex models at potentially lower prices. However, there's a catch. As we hinted earlier, a recent investigation against the backdrop of a lawsuit in the Midwest has shed light on the murky channels through which Rolex watches and other luxury timepieces go from authorized dealers into the depths of the grey market. The events occur in Cook County, Illinois, infamously known as Crook County, due to its involvement in numerous federally sanctioned acts of corruption. 3 former workers of CD Peacock, an authorized Rolex dealer located within the Old Orchard branch of CD Peacock, located within the bustling jewelry store, located within the Westfield Mall in Skokie, are the focus of the narrative. Here's what went down. A woman named Olga Nelson, who spent years immersed in the world of Rolex, had her first suspicion that something was amiss when a newcomer, Ying Duan, was pushed into the store just ahead of the holiday sales frenzy in 2018. Interestingly, Ying Duan was a counterfeiter. According to the story, Duan was a mysterious woman, a Chinese student whose unexplained entrance into the world of luxury watches caused many people to raise their brows. Nelson, tasked with controlling her, quickly became aware of Duan's odd relationships with others. According to the civil documents, Duan was seen engaged in suspicious activities, including selling Rolex watches to individuals who looked unconnected to typical customers. Nelson described how she saw Duan's boyfriend casually stroll inside the store while carrying a lunch bag. It all took place within a remote office where stacks of cash were traded for one another, and Rolex timepieces were removed from their showcases. The quick climb Duan had to become the top Rolex salesperson in the store was nothing short of astonishing. Nevertheless, a growing number of suspicions emerged as Duan was holding meetings behind closed doors with senior management. A huge one-time sales target of $10 million was announced, propelling Duan into an extravagant shopping spree using her credit card. This was a clear violation of the standards that had been established. Duan was a conduit for a flow of Rolex watches, and as a result, her involvement in the black market began to unravel. Duan's modus operandi comprised the intriguing practice of orchestrating special orders with Rolex to receive watches valued at approximately $40,000 each. The woman used her credit card to purchase these watches, which were then resold to Rolex under a buyer's identity that was entirely made up. The watches eventually made their way into the online market, where they were marked up significantly to attract customers from other countries. As the legal action and allegations progressed, it became clear that the grey market was being fueled by a network of complicated tactics, which shadowed the respectable world of Rolex. Rolex, a symbol of prestige, found itself entangled in the web of the grey market and was forced to confront a challenge to the carefully crafted brand image it had created for itself. This case focused on the dangers of unauthorized sales, the possibility of the erosion of exclusivity, and the selling of counterfeit products. It highlighted the difficulties premium brands confront when attempting to protect their reputation in the face of many transactions conducted on the grey market. The alleged black market activities carried out by Yingshu Duan serve as a cautionary tale, shedding light on the delicate balance that luxury companies such as Rolex are required to uphold in the marketplace. When searching for timepieces emblematic of artisanship and legacy, we as consumers and enthusiasts of horological artistry maintain vigilance and look for authenticity and transparency in our search as consumers and enthusiasts of horological artistry. It is only then that we can find the timepieces we desire. Even inside the sphere of luxury, hidden truths have the potential to obscure the radiance of the watches we treasure the most. This sharp reality is brought to our attention by the grey market. Duan's straightforward confession to a client in a string of social media chats was saved and shared in court. That was a harmless statement that carries weight when placed within the context of a lawsuit brought in March 2022. What was it? I work at an authorized Rolex dealer, Duan admits. These communications, which Olga Nelson selected and organized with great care, provided a window into a world in which opacity and anonymity are entwined. The cautionary advice given by Duan to keep it low raises issues regarding concealed interactions and transactions that have not been revealed. As Nelson investigated Duan's online presence, the case became more perplexing as she came across images that provided fascinating clues about the mysterious world in which she lived. A narrative of richness and mystery about contacts who flaunt bundles of cash while wearing solid gold Rolex watches can be conjured up. These photographs, which are now being included as exhibits in the continuing legal complaint, provide a fascinating glimpse into a mysterious realm in which Rolex watches and the temptation of money collide. An answer that makes sense for the mystery is starting to take shape as rumours of a connection between the Bitcoin craze and the grey market continue circulating. Rob Corder, a seasoned watcher of the Rolex landscape, says that the newly rich's rapid acquisition of luxury timepieces has opened the way for a unique challenge. Because unofficial flippers buy watches from third parties and then resell them at excessive markups, challenging the conventional ideas about the value retention of timepieces, authorized dealers are in a difficult position. This demand is being fueled in part by the appeal of rapid gratification for the upper echelons of society's wealthy, contributing to the delicate dance between authorized dealers and the black market. The grey market is flourishing in areas like New York, where dealers flaunt their brand new Rolexes with the same casualness that one would handle buckets of money. The grey market is shrouded in anonymity and employs ever-evolving techniques. The story reveals internet avenues that attract seekers with offers more than retail value, an unspoken indicator of the market's frantic pursuit of exclusivity and status. The limits between luxury and practicality are blurring as Rolex enthusiasts adopt the unwritten rule that their watches should not exceed the worth of their vehicles. That is driving the pursuit of coveted timepieces to unimaginable heights. The connection between the grey market and the fascinating world of cryptocurrencies is still a mystery, encouraging people to speculate further and investigate the topic. The outlines of the horological landscape are being redefined due to the intersection of forces brought about by luxury goods, money, and technological advancement. The mysterious appeal of Rolex, intertwined with the shady pathways of the grey market, provides a vivid portrayal of a domain in which watchmaking and selling go beyond what we can put into words.